Hello, my dear friends. I hope all of you are doing great, and I'm back with a new video. And the video today is going to talk about the Middle East or the Gulf War. And I already have spoken about what is the effect of this war on aviation industry, but today I would be covering little more than that. So in fact, uh, some of you know that I am an independent director, a certified independent director, and as a business leader. So I have been getting a lot of requests for covering the impact of this war on the business and overall on the economy. So today I'm going to talk a little more about that. So apart from slightly deviating from aviation or aerospace only topics. So I hope that you all would like this video. So with that, let's get deeper into the discussion today. So as you know that it's almost 3 weeks now since this war has started between US, Israel, and Iran. And this week we saw major escalations. So this escalations were more related to attacking uh, the energy infrastructure, the oil as well as the LNG infrastructure across the Gulf. And uh, we heard in last few days that uh, initially the south parts facility of Iran was attacked by Israel, and then there was a major uh, uh, incident in Ras Lafan and Qatar, and before that also we have been hearing lot of uh, targeting on the energy infrastructure, uh, the the civilian infrastructure, and so what is really going to impact this? So first of all, I would like to cover for 30 seconds that for the aviation industry, obviously I spoke last week about uh, the stoppage of flights and most of the major hubs and all that. So one good thing is that some of those hubs have started opening or reopening. uh, Obviously they are not back in full scale, but they are partially opening and partially operating, which is good for the flying passengers as well as for the economy and aviation industry overall. But the challenge remains, as I mentioned, that the safety is paramount in aviation industry. So obviously that is something which needs to be uh, constantly watched out for, because when the missiles and drones are uh, flying constantly and attacking the civilian infrastructure. So the safety of the passengers and the crew and the aircrafts are paramount, and I hope those things would be taken care of. But as a business leader, as a uh, board member, certified independent director, so I am also looking at the broader picture beyond just the aviation industry or the short term impact, right? So what happens is that probably all of you are hearing about the situations like the oil price going up above uh, above $110 per barrel, in last few days, then obviously India has still been holding the price increase of petrol and diesel, but it's difficult uh, for the oil marketing firms, because they have to absorb this additional cost, and often it can, if it keeps going up, so it might really start uh, showing up as losses for some of those companies. And obviously they would not be in a position to absorb it further, and they have to flow it down to the consumers. So that would be a major challenge for our economy. I will explain that, but and also you have been hearing about the LPG shortage and the issues related to LPG. So again, these are mostly the short term challenges, right? So uh, the short term shocks or immediate shocks are being absorbed by the measures that various governments in India as well as across the world they are taking. They're releasing some of their strategic reserves to reduce the pressure on the availability of the oil, so that the price would be little stabilized and all that. But beyond that, this increasing attack on the energy infrastructure is going to create a major long term shock. So what does that mean? Because you have to understand this energy infrastructures which are there. So these are uh, kind of world's largest uh, facilities for LNG, for um, the one fifth of global LNG is produced from these fields. Also, like as we have heard that almost one fifth of global oil uh, trade happens through this Gulf, and when we are seeing those impact, the attack on those infrastructure, what that means is that um, the infrastructure which were built over decades, right, not years, not months, but decades, so those are getting attacked and destroyed. Some of this repairs might take many years, if not decades. It might take easily 5 to 6 years or even beyond, because the attacks are not stopped yet. So we don't know the kind of kind of end result that is going to happen after, you know whenever this fighting stops, but the damage would be kind of permanent. And the biggest problem is that all this infrastructure, the billions of dollar that pours in, so it depends on uh, the stability of the region. It depends on trust, and you know depends on uh, credible environment for the business. Now, if that fundamental itself is in question, so what does that mean is that it might never come back to that equilibrium which was there. And if that is the case, the major challenge is that the untapped oil reserve and the gas reserve that we have there, so the companies might not put their money to build those infrastructure to get those. So the entire world economy is going to be impacted in that, because there is going to be a constraint on the availability of energy. So already what we are seeing that globally, oil price has increased, and because of that, the plants are shut down, the manufacturing is getting slowed down and all that. So these are all having, major impact on the global economy, not just for that company, or just for that country, but for the entire global economy. This is going to be a major challenge, because the inflation will increase. When the inflation increases, uh, the central banks would be forced to uh, increase their lending rate. When they increase the lending rate, so the liquidity in the market will come down. So when the liquidity in the market comes down, so people will have lesser amount to spend in their hand, not just uh, the normal people like us, but also people like the industries, right? The governments, to invest in the infrastructure or invest in the capex. So what does that mean? That means that there would be slowdown in the job creation. If the job creation slows down, that will further impact the economy in terms of uh, the earning capacity of the people. If their earning capacity goes down, then obviously their capacity to spend will go down. So this is going to be a vicious cycle. Apart from that, which is directly related to the energy and energy infrastructure, so there are other areas as well. So probably, uh, some of you might be aware that from the Gulf, uh, because of this oil refineries and oil infrastructure. So there are a lot of different byproducts of petroleum, right, which we use uh, every day in our life, and probably we don't even realize. So as this oil infrastructures get targeted, what does that mean is that those commodities are also going to be uh, short supply in the world, and one of them is very very important, that is urea, right? And that urea is used for agriculture. So a huge amount of urea that gets you know uh, exported from this Gulf region to various countries. Once that gets affected, so imagine there is a urea shortage all over the world, and that affects the food security in the world. So if there is a food uh, security issue in the world, that will further spiral down to major other economic impact globally, and that can really create uh, further disbalance, further instability across different regions. And some of the regions, some of the countries, they they depend heavily on those uh, imports from those Gulf countries, in their countries, for their energy security, for their food security, for uh, you know uh, their industrialization, their industrial output. So all these things are interrelated in the global economy. And when we look at this scenario today, and we don't know where this whole thing is going to stop, and where the prices are going to be for oil, and the damage to the infrastructure. So that is really worrisome, because that really has impact on you know on many other things beyond just your uh, petrol to put in your car, or uh, LPG for your kitchen, right? So it is having a much bigger impact for the country, for the companies, and for the global economy. So for the good of everyone, I hope that we come to a negotiation table, and everyone talks and resolve their issues, and this fighting stops, and at least uh, the much longer damage that is going to happen to the global economy and for the normal people, that gets stopped here. So with that, I stop this video here, and I hope all of you like this video. And if you have liked uh, this video and have been following me, please like, share, and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed it yet. So with that, thank you and have a great day.